'di ba, libo-libo yung napatay sa drug war. Pero base doon sa ano, sa initial appearance, nabanggit na of course na kakaunti lang yung mga cases sa binanggit, no? Something around 40 na, tama ba?
Tama.
Okay. Paki-explain yung attorney kung bakit in litigating this particular crimes against humanity of murder case, no? Hindi kailangan patunayan lahat yun, yung 30,000 na yun, or 20,000, or even just 6,500. Bakit pumili ng specific cases?
Tinan mo to ha, sabi nila, 40 lang pala. Para naman yung 40, buong pamilya mo na yun at buong isama pa yung mga pinsan mo, ganun karami yung namatay. Para wag yung mabalitin yung 40 ha. Ito yung 40 na nagmangahas, na nagreklamo sa ICC at na nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob. Ngayon, sa ICC, sa Rome Statute, it will qualify as crimes against humanity, yung mass murder, no? Crimes against humanity of murder or mass murder. Dalawang bagay ang kailangan lang nilang pakita diyan, no? Yung systematic yung attack, or hindi nga dalawang bagay or widespread. So systematic or widespread, no? So ibig sabihin kung widespread 'yan, baka naman siguro kung may initial sample lang, walang threshold number na kailangan ipakita. Pakita lang nila systematic and or widespread yung patayan, no? So kahit na 10 yan or 20 lang yan, pagka sufficient na yung in terms of matter of proof na systematic siyang ginagawa at widespread siya. And tandaan natin ha, ang daming reports na sinubmit sa ICC na walang question na ito ay widespread, no? Papakita pa nila na systematic. So hindi na or, mapapakita nila na and. At hindi kailangan na 6,000 na isa-isa pakita namatay. Kailangan lang systematic or widespread. And 40 is more than a number. In fact, kahit 5 lang yan, pag pinakita mong systematic, tapos mapoprove mo na yung widespread through the reports na alam naman ng lahat. Alam naman ng buong mundo. Alam ng lahat ng publications. The deaths under Rodrigo Duterte was published by a lot of international human rights group, by a lot of journalists in the world. Alam na nila yung widespread So pag makapakita pa na systematic, tapos na yan. In other words, wala pong threshold number. Wag po nagmamarunong, lalong-lalo na yung mga nag-aral raw dun sa Europe, no, at sasabihin na ng international relations, not even international law, no, ng international relations, at sasabihin na 40 lang pala, di ba? Tapos meron pa sila yung mga legal brilliance and maneuver daw, yung parang pinayagan siya na makuha tapos para ma-question niya yung jurisdiction sa ICC. Hindi rin po totoo yun. Hindi po katulad ng domestic law na pag mali ang pag-aresto sa inyo, walang jurisdiction ang international court. As ang korte, ang local court. Sa international law, basta nahuli ka at na-turnover ka sa international court, itatry ka na. No? Yung pagkahuli sa'yo, it's a matter of domestic law. Pwede ka mag-demanda sa domestic court. Pero as far as the international court is concerned, meron silang jurisdiction over you.
So wala silang pake, no? Okay.
Wala.
Ang mahalaga, nandun na sila and they acquire jurisdiction. Okay. Correct. Yung pag-usapan natin itong yung systematic, no? How do you prove that that was systematic and that Duterte was involved?
Maraming bagay na malinaw na I think as part of the record of evidence. Number one, yung systematic, ilalabas lang nila yung mga executive orders. Diba? Yung executive order na inilabas, yung Oplan Tokhang, yung meron doong explicit sa memorandum circular ng Philippine National Police is to neutralize. Yun yung term na ginamit mismo ng Philippine National Police, neutralize. So kung neutralize, in legal parlance dyan and police language, di ba pag neutralize is patayin, ubusin, di ba? Patayin ang neutralize, di ba? So that's first. So maraming mga orders kasi and documentation na mapapakita na ginamit yung state apparatus in perpetrating murder. So it will show na systematic siya. Number two, yung public pronouncements ni President Duterte itself. Because if Christian Esguerra or Dino De Leon are the only ones who will speak something, that does not turn into public policy. But the president's word is different. The president's word is policy. He said, kill, kill, kill. And then indeed, kill, kill, kill happened. The killing started. And it did not end, diba? Until the end of his term. And the rough estimate is 12,000 to 30,000 by the International Criminal Court. No? So the word of the president is policy, and his own language will actually be used against him. Number 3, even his own admissions. Nasabi niya may pinatay siya, may binaril siya, 'di ba? May pinagbabaril siya. Number 4 is of course the testimonies of sila Arthur Las Cañas, sila Bato-Bato, saying that they took orders from their own cells. Na ang pinaka-head is si President Duterte, that there's a flow of money there, 'di ba? Na nakita rin naman ng Quadcom na ginamit yung pera ng Estado para pumatay at nakakakuha sila ng pera kada pumapatay sila, at in fact they are considered as police assets under the payroll. Ibig sabihin nito, ito ay systematic, no? At nagsimula pa lamang yan sa Davao City at ginawa nilang dina-nationalize sila as shown in the Quadcom. In other words, no, makikita natin na may sistema ang pagpatay, well-funded, well-oiled, architected by no less than the president. The police forces were actually used as a killing machine, unfortunately, kaya kailangan magkaroon na rin ng reforma sa Philippine National Police, no? At makikita rin na na ito ay state policy as admitted by no less than President Duterte himself.
So basically, he has only himself to blame because of everything that he had said, and of course yung documents that were available.
Magagamit talaga yung mga yan laban sa kanya. Eh di ba, sinabi niya naman nung Quadcom, di ba? ICC, hurry up, sipain ko pa kayo, no? Tapos ngayon, hindi makapagsalita. I think that's a show, no? I think President Duterte will still be there, no? It will be sometime, no? Ako sana matapos ito na mas maaga para naman hindi katulad na nangyari kay Senator Laila de Lima na 7 taon nilang pinakulong para lamang hindi makapagsalita, no? This is very much unlike the case of Senator Laila de Lima, kasi kay Senator Laila de Lima, alam natin peke yung kaso, pinatahimik sila. In fact, kung nakinig nga sana sila kay Senator Laila de Lima, hindi sana dumami ang namatay, baka hindi nga nakakulong si Tatay Digong Kung hindi niya pinatahimik si Laila de Lima, baka nagkaroon ng investigations, nagkaloon, kung ginawa ng Senado at ng Kongreso yung trabaho nila ng early, baka napigilan nila yung war on drugs at hindi kinakailangang litisin si President Duterte. Pero lahat sila in-enable nila Parang inudyukan pa nila na gawin pa ni President Duterte yung kanyang kill policy. No? So actually, it's a lot of people are to be blamed as well because they were enablers or they were silent, di ba? But not Laila de Lima. Pero ang ginawa kay Laila de Lima, pinakulong siya na 7 years. Di ba? Iba ngayon, parang surreal for me, no? After 8 years, I can't believe na ang nakakulong ngayon under international law is si Rodrigo Duterte, si Laila de Lima is out. At sinabi ni Laila de Lima, I will hold you into account, no? Alam mo naman si Laila de Lima pag nagsalita na she will make sure that people are accountable. Ilang na rin bang napakalalakas na figures ang nakulong nung siya ay Justice Secretary, kaya nga siya kinakatakutan. Ngayon, nakulong naman ulit si Rodrigo Duterte.
May tawag dyan karma, comeuppance, day of reckoning, ano pa ba? Okay. Rule of law.
Rule of law. Kasi, di ba, what goes around comes around. But definitely, totoo naman, wag na tayo magbulag-bulagan kahit yung mga supporters, di ba? You actually supported a violent regime. Now that violent regime is now on its downfall, hopefully. And now that violent regime is being held accountable, di ba? You supported that. Panindigan ninyo, wag yung parang biglang hero pa siya. Hindi po siya hero, di ba? Mamamatay tao po siya. At nakita po ng lahat ng tao yan.